The following is a free preview of the MJ Take podcast. To subscribe to the podcast, head to patreon.com/SFE, become an SFE fanatic for $4 a month, and support the SFE vision and get access to weekly The MJ Take podcasts and a weekly non-sports video, all by MJ. I hope you enjoy. Hello and welcome to the MJ Take podcast on patreon.com/SFE. This podcast is for you beautiful Patreon supporters that support the SFE channel, support sports fan entertainment as it grows to newer and higher heights. This podcast will be uploaded usually on Friday, but I think as the NFL season comes along, I will move to Mondays. But for now, expect a new podcast every Friday. Now let's begin, okay? Because it's only me. It's only gonna be me for a while until I feel like I need to bring a co-host on. But just for now, it's just me. So we're gonna talk about what I want to talk about. And we're gonna start by talking about the NBA. What? That's right. MJ's talking about the NBA. Because for once in this 2017 NBA playoff period, the NBA is actually interesting. The NBA is actually the news in sports. Okay, as last night we had the San Antonio Spurs versus the Houston Rockets. And was the game good? Absolutely not. I mean, none of these games have been good throughout the NBA playoffs. I mean, relatively. I mean, some of them have been good. Like, you can point to Game 5 of Spurs and Rockets. You can point to maybe Game 2 or 3 of Wizards and Celtics and tell me, oh, look at these two games. These indicate that these have been a good playoffs. No, the playoffs have been terrible. First of all, heading into the playoffs, everyone knew we were going to have the Golden State Warriors versus the Cleveland Cavaliers in the 2017 NBA Finals. We all knew that. But then on top of that, we can't even get good games. I mean, we're talking about last night, the Spurs beat the Rockets by 39 points. And this was a home elimination game for the Houston Rockets. And as I go down the results, okay, the results of each and every playoff game, I see a team winning by 15 points, 20 points, 10 points. Very rarely do teams in these NBA playoffs win by 2 or 3 points. It's been nothing but blowouts, but we're going to talk about that a little more later. But let's focus on one man right now, and that is James Harden. Okay, James Harden is the talk of the town, and deservedly so, as he was absolutely dreadful last night. Now, did I watch the game? Hell no. Because why on earth would I even have any interest in watching the NBA playoffs? They've been awful. Okay, but I went back and I watched the highlights, and I watched specifically the highlights of James Harden, who last night had nothing but lowlights. This was a disgraceful performance by James Harden. Here's the box score for James Harden's performance. He was 2 for 11 from the field, 10 points, 6 turnovers, 2 of 9 from 3. Okay, so of his 11 shots, 9 of them were 3-pointers. Okay, 4 of 6 from free throws, had 7 assists, 3 rebounds. And if you watch the game, or you watch the highlights, or no, excuse me, the lowlights of his performance, you saw that he was even worse than this box score indicates. This was one of the worst performances I can remember seeing by a superstar, a quote-unquote superstar, since LeBron James in the 2011 NBA Finals. And I think he was even worse, because LeBron just wasn't... He just refused to get the ball in his hands. He refused to ask for the ball. He refused to do anything. James Harden insisted. He insisted on getting the ball in his hands, bringing the ball up the court, and then proceeded to give the ball away to the San Antonio Spurs again and again and again and again. The lazy effort, the lackadaisical attitude that James Harden displayed from possession to possession was absolutely ridiculous to watch. It was a disgraceful performance. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But at the same time, I'm kind of not surprised, because this is James Harden. This is a guy that did nothing in the 2012 NBA Finals against the Miami Heat when he played for the OKC Thunder back at the time. This is a guy that, yes, had an MVP level performance this season, but he still set a new NBA record for turnovers in the year. I mean, no one wants to talk about that. I mean, yes, Russell Westbrook and James Harden, one of them averaged a triple-double, the other one almost averaged a triple-double. How about their turnovers? Why are these two men setting new marks for turnovers? They're so lackadaisical with the basketball. But at least Russell Westbrook will give me effort on a game-to-game basis, on a possession-to-possession basis. James Harden, has he ever struck you as a Kobe Bryant type shooting guard? He's always been lazy, honestly. He has always had that attitude. I mean, now, trust me, listen to me. He's a great player. He's one of the top 10 players in the NBA. But why is everyone shocked that all of a sudden James Harden had a lazy performance? I can't believe how lazy James Harden was. He's always been lazy. He's not Kobe Bryant. He's not Allen Iverson. And this is the case for a lot of NBA players today. I think NBA players today don't have nearly the work ethic NBA players had a decade ago, and certainly not the effort they had 2 decades ago. He's not Michael Jordan. He's not Charles Barkley. The way this guy dribbles the ball up the court, attempts to make these no-look passes, sometimes they work, but plenty of times they don't. I'm not shocked by the performance. I'm surprised, but I'm not shocked. And as I look at the results of all of these NBA playoff games, I think there's a fundamental flaw with the mentality of a lot of NBA players today. Instead of fighting back in the second half, a lot of teams are just okay with just laying it down. We're just laying down and saying, okay, well, we're down by 15 at the half, game over. I don't see the work ethic. I don't see the fervor from NBA players today. The willingness to get it done. The Kobe Black Mamba mentality. We ain't losing today. I see it from LeBron. I see it at times from the Spurs. I see it even only at times from Golden State. Golden State, they can come back, but mainly it's just because they got hot again. It's not really because they just got together as a team and said, no, we ain't losing today. I think there's a fundamental flaw with the mentality of NBA players today, and James Harden's performance last night is only a microcosm of an overall problem in the NBA. Here's a stat for you. Playoff teams in these 2017 NBA playoffs, when facing a home elimination game, they're at home, they're about to be eliminated. What's their record? 0-10. That includes teams like the Chicago Bulls, teams like the Houston Rockets, teams like the Utah Jazz, teams like the Toronto Raptors, and it goes on and on and on. At home, these NBA players are having serious problems, saying, hey, we ain't losing today. when they get down early, they're having serious problems saying, no, we're coming back now. There's something missing here. And it just adds to the overall problem in the NBA that I'm seeing with the NBA. The mentality of these NBA players, it's not there right now. They're not focused. They're not engaged. There's some of them that are. LeBron is. Kyrie is. Steph Curry is. Kevin Durant, he really is. And that's why they're going to be in the NBA Finals. I like John Wall. I like Isaiah Thomas. I like them. But James Harden? At times, Bradley Beal? I mean, these guys, they don't bring it on a possession-to-possession basis. Their effort wanes. It's not consistent. It's not always there. I don't see the passion all the time that I saw from Kobe, that I see from LeBron, that I see from John Wall, that I see from Isaiah Thomas. Where's the passion? Where's the fight? We're at home. It's game 6. It's me and you. And we ain't losing today. So I'm not surprised by James Harden's performance. It was a disgusting performance. This guy was just going through the motions. Tossing the ball around. I mean, I saw one play. This was within 1.5 minutes of the game. He's wide open for 3. He begins his motion. And then inexplicably, he passes mid-shot. To whom? The mascot out of bounds. It went straight out of bounds. It was one of the worst passes I've ever seen. And from that moment onward, I said, uh-oh, he doesn't have it today. It's not there for James Harden. He's not showing up. I'm surprised, but I'm not shocked. Now, some people have some conspiracy theories about this. They're saying, no, James Harden, he was paid off by the mafia. I don't think the mafia cares about the Houston Rockets versus San Antonio Spurs. Oh, he was drugged. He was drunk. He was this. He was that. No, I think this is who he is. I think he's a guy who, again, can be great. But the passion and the effort is not always going to be there. This is who he has been throughout his career. This is not breaking news. Breaking news, James Harden didn't give 100% effort. I've always seen this from James Harden. This is no surprise to me.